been in the industry for over 36 years, working on Porsche and BMW, and eventually moving on to Mercedes-Benz. While I was in England, I also worked for a company called TWR Racing, RSR Engineering, and also the Porsche factory, which is the headquarters in Reading. I moved from there to Canada when I was actually sponsored by another Porsche dealership in Ontario, Canada, DFC, or Downtown Fine Cars, in 2000. I worked there until 2003, 2004, eventually moving on to BMW, Ferrari, Maserati of Ontario. Having worked there for about 6 to 7 years, I was presented by another project which took place it took me into Bahamas, and I worked out there for Land Rover and Jaguar. Whilst I was there, I also was dabbling myself in BMWs and Porsche. So in the meantime, I came back to Canada, and I still go backwards and forwards to Bahamas when I'm called back there for problems. So at the present time, I'm in the workshop of my own house, working on a couple of projects, mainly one being a flat 6 air-cooled and a flat 6 water-cooled engine. This being a 996 and this being a 964. This one here has been stripped down. Basically, it had a bottom end knock, and found out that the actual connecting rod bearing had failed due to additives added to the engine and not being flushed out properly. So upon the strip down, I found out that connecting rod was so badly worn, or the bearing was so badly worn, that it actually had hairline cracks in the crankshaft journal. So this is unrepairable, and I would not have this crank put back into service because it will fail down the road. But having said that, I've also, whilst I've been waiting for a crank for this engine, I've been working on the engine, on the other part of the engine as well, by cleaning the cam carriers, basically, which house the cams inside. Yeah, they'll be ready to be assembled once the parts are here. And I've also got the heads are ready. They've all been, the valve guards have all been changed. The spring heights have all been done to specifications, and they're all ready to go. As you can see, they've been all wrapped up, so keep away the dust and the mites. So when it goes back together, there's no impurities on the actual block itself or the heads, which can actually interfere in the sealing of the engine. So, having said that, as I said, I'm still waiting for parts on this engine, and once the parts are here, I'll start assembling them, and hopefully get this video up and running.